Welcome to Village in Motion. It is Tuesday, February 28th, and if I don't know any better, I think today's the last day of February. We don't have a leap year this year. So stay tuned with us this morning. We've got an interesting program with general services, followed by a discussion about listening devices. Stay tuned to Village in Motion. I'm the host today, and it's Tuesday, February 28th, the last day of February. And this morning on Village in Motion, we have with us Lynn Keefe, who is the Director of General Services. And I know there's a lot of things going on in General Services. So, Lynn, what's happening over there these days?
Well, you know, we are always keeping busy, certainly, and right now, probably on the front burner, or one of the front burners, the window project continues in Neighborhood 1. So the install is proceeding. They're currently working in Walden Court, and I believe residents have received information that they will begin Parkview in the second week of March.
Wow. So Madison Green's already been finished?
Correct.
And so Walden Court is being finished. And that is wonderful.
So they're moving along. Now, we've had the question before, gosh, does it include patio doors and swing door to my balcony? And the answer is yes. But early in this process, we had not made the selection yet for those, but we didn't want to hold up progress. So unfortunately for those folks who have already had their windows installed, we'll come back and replace the sliding door and the swing door when that is approved. And they're very close to bringing the sample down so that folks can touch it, try it, and then we'll schedule those to go back. And then going forward, at some point we'll catch up so that we'll go in one time, do windows, doors, and everything. But do look for an article in the upcoming Villager in March, really trying to just let folks know what to expect. If you know somebody who lives in Neighborhood 1, talk to them at dinner, and hopefully they'll share their experience.
Well, everybody that I've talked to that's gotten the new windows are extremely happy with them, very pleased. They're very satisfied with the fact that it cuts out the wind from coming in.
Yes, that's a biggie. Excuse me. So we also will be moving to Neighborhood 2 once we finish up in Neighborhood 1. And we'll take just a brief break, maybe a week or so. And as we get closer, of course, project management is always communicating with residents to make sure they know what to expect.
So we're looking then probably at getting into Neighborhood 2, May, June timeframe, possibly?
I think that it'll be closer to the summer because we'll still need to go back and do doors. So, but as we get closer, we'll try and give folks the best expectation because you know everybody wants to know what to expect. And
we're just going to go ahead and continue doing them all the way through and not nonstop for the rest of the year.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So that also, when you come through the front gate and you go to that first stop sign, I believe that's the G lot on your right-hand side there, you see two big semi-trailers, and those are for the windows. So we know they're not the most attractive, but they are a temporary piece of the project. So.
And it's nice to have that area to put them in.
It is, and we don't have a lot of extra space, as you may have noticed. So we're also working on the long-promised second elevator here in Village Square. So the contract has been signed, and we're working with the vendor. They'll be bringing in some of the other subs and the components of the installation. And as that timeline gets built out, we'll communicate that. But we are definitely on track to have that done. Do we have a drawing or a photograph of what it's going to look like? We will. So the elevator is going to be in the part of what is currently the screened-in porch. So it's within the footprint of the building, but it will be, as they say, scabbed on the outside of the building. But it's done. It's pretty attractive. And as we get closer, there will be some renderings that we'll have in space so that folks can see what to expect.
And it'll be glass enclosed, right? So we can see out of it?
No.
No? Ah.
No, I know. We have heard some of those folks, although I'd probably be okay with one floor of
Yes,
glass,
right.
and I don't know that everyone would be. We're also, the RFP has gone out for the combined a word there, the hallway life cycles.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that's going to occur in Parkview and Grove Terrace. We've shared in probably the last 6 months the color schemes that will be there. You know, we've already done the Main Street in those spaces, but we are catching up, so there will be 8 hallways done. And more information as we get that scheduled. But folks know those that got the new doors
Yes.
over in Neighborhood 1. They said, well, gosh, I thought my door was going to match the frame. And it will.
Yes.
The doors went in first. The frames will be painted to complement that. So.
Okay. And with the hallways, they'll go from top to bottom or bottom to top?
Yes.
Okay.
That is to be determined. They'll look at what makes the most sense, and then we'll communicate that out.
And with the hallways, you're looking at putting the new shelves in?
Yes, it includes carpet, paint, lighting, and the package shelves.
Okay, very good.
So it seems, although it's February, a little odd to discuss this because our weather certainly hasn't been very winter-like this year,
Right.
although I'm not complaining.
And it's going to snow this week, right?
No, and we don't speak of that word. So we are at the point for the second phase of the sprinkler remediation project. And this, we had a fire suppression engineer that did their study to look at how do we fix the recessed balcony and box bays where we have lines and sprinkler heads in unconditioned spaces. So that pre-bid meeting is occurring this week, and we'll have timing out probably, I would say, in the next 7 to 10 days. And that's a work that will occur in residents' apartments. They will try and, be as unnoticeable as possible and as efficient as possible, coordinating how they do that so as not to intrude and no openings left.
Yeah.
So, but it is an in-apartment process that will take several months as we work through the community.
Good.
In the meantime, although I don't think we're worrying about it much these days with the temperatures, we have continued to monitor temperatures, taking temperatures in the areas we've identified as at risk based on their geography. And we manage the process. And when we've needed, on 2 occasions, we've proactively drained down top floors and gone on fire watch. So that always will be in place until we have this
Yeah,
completed.
because we do not need any more leaks around here.
We do not. So it's a little smaller project, although asked for by a number of folks. Elevator identification.
Yes.
So some of the elevators have a little number. You may not notice that's actually what it is, but there are signs going in the elevators that identify it. And usually for each pair of elevators, it will say elevator number 1, number 2, but it will also give the location so that you will know when you're in the elevator, should there be an issue, you can easily identify, I'm in Hampton Place, elevator number 2.
And typically the elevator on the right, or on the left, on the left is number 1?
I believe that is correct. But you'll have that verification as those are being placed in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
So signs, while we're on signs,
Yes.
folks have said, I thought you were replacing signs in neighborhood 2, and we
Yes.
are. We are also replacing damaged signs from neighborhood 3.
Oh, good.
The signs that were used in neighborhood 3, there are some that have been damaged, and I will say some have been vandalized.
Yes.
So those will be replaced in the next 7 to 10 days.
Good.
The installer will be in to do those. We're waiting till everything came in. But I also encourage residents, if you observe something that is someone who is vandalizing
Yes.
something or that has been, please report it. We are aware of some of the elevator signs over in Crestwood Court, so you need not report those. But if you see anything anywhere else, we always want to know about
And it makes
that.
no sense why they were vandalized. I mean, they peeled off the outside.
Yes,
Just,
it's not attractive, but
Yes.
please know those are
Oh,
in the process of
yes.
being replaced. So one other thing that's going on is our Garden Ridge repositioning, and so we have 2 general contractors who
Yes.
will be working in the space over there. One is for the amenity space within the building, and Cypress is that contractor, and they will be within the buildings. They're beginning up on Rose Court, the 4th floor,
okay.
and working with the staff and residents there to be as unintrusive as possible, and they'll move throughout the building. The bigger project, or probably maybe the more exciting for some, is the new building that will actually join the wings of Garden Ridge. And Harvey Cleary is that general contractor. So folks may have seen a little bit of movement back there. We've cleared that lot. There will be a fence installed. They will utilize the service road that connects to Spring Village Way and connects by the pond.
Yes.
So all of that will be enclosed, and that contractor and all of their team will be working in that space. So starting in the next couple of weeks, we'll see a little more ground movement.
Good. And the new building is known as, it's going to be known as Dogwood Commons, right?
That is correct. That is correct, yes.
All right.
So much more information to come. Typically in February, I would probably give some winter preparedness, but as I looked at the calendar, we're supposed to be 70 today and 78 tomorrow. Do pay attention because the weather is surprising. Please be cautious around campus. Safety is always near and dear to our hearts. We want to keep everybody safe.
Right.
Watch your speed, park appropriately, be courteous of your neighbors.
Most definitely. And it's very nice having those new speed monitors up in different places.
And you will see those being rotated throughout the community, just as a nice reminder to folks.
Right. The other thing is, you did not mention, is signage on the buildings. I noticed that there's a new sign on Grove Terrace that has Building 1 or whatever.
So that was a test. That was the blue, not real well received. So we're putting another one together that we will test that has the appropriate contrast and doesn't blend in, but doesn't look gaudy either. So those will be going up, and we'll test that. We're also going to be including some named signs for our clubhouses that don't currently exist.
Very nice, very nice. Well, it sounds like you guys are busy as always.
Always busy. It's a great team, and they're always working hard.
And I understand that the boilers are being changed out.
Yes, I believe they're coming to completion on that project as well.
And so we'll have good, fresh, hot water, right?
Absolutely.
So very good. Well, is there any other pearls of wisdom? We got literally 1 minute.
No, I think we've covered them all. Certainly, if folks have questions, they can always call General Services. It's a great place to start and either get the answer or they'll find the answer to your question.
Yes, very well. Again, Lynn, thank you for coming and giving us this update. Always
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.